Somewhere in this section of road, we pass from Sumter County into Lake County. That there's no sign for it, and I can't tell exactly where it is on the map. I even wrote to the Turnpike Authority, and I'm not sure they even know. And coming up here on the right is one of my favorite views, going back to my original days here. That little farmhouse up in the trees and the water tower up on the right there with the cows, top of the hill. I've just always thought that was the most wonderful little place. I hate to see that ever get developed. Coming up on the exit for 27, which is the most efficient way to get to Disney World. Some people continue on down the turnpike for another 27 miles to take that new highway down to Disney, which is then the same distance as I'm going to go down 27. So basically you add 25 miles and some tolls to your trip. And on to 27. Quite a bit of traffic on it today compared to what I usually see. Probably a lot of people heading down to Disney World. There is the first sign on the trip down that mentions Disney World. Doesn't give a mileage, but that's the first mention. On the right, you can see Lake Ridge Winery. I've never stopped there, but that is my checkpoint, my time checkpoint for how fast I'm doing relative to my fastest time to Disney World. It's now 11:09, which actually puts me right on pace for my fastest time. I left the house at 10:07. But I stopped in the street for a couple of minutes to arrange my camera. So I'm actually at the 1 hour point, which is my fastest time to this point. Coming into view now over the far ridge is the famous Citrus Tower, possibly the original Florida tourist attraction. At that time, this was all orange groves. There was nothing here, and that was actually in the middle of an orange grove. From the top of it, you can see all the way over to Epcot and sometimes even Kennedy Space Center. When I got here, from here on down was all orange groves, and in the season, the odor, the perfume in the air of honeysuckle was overpowering. Now you will see it is all developments and shopping centers and housing complexes and some new road. Here we cross Route 50, which goes east-west across the state. I even tried taking that one time, and there's like a traffic light every 3 blocks. Very, very long journey before I managed to get off of that. And that's that. Now we're into a stretch of traffic lights and residential areas that culminate in Kagan's Crossing and the turnoff onto 192, which didn't even exist before Disney World, out at this end anyway. It was extended out this way to create the entrance for Disney World and then beyond for businesses. A little note, when entering a road from the left-hand side, you enter it in the left-hand lane. Now we're coming up to the last light before the turnoff on the right to 192 to Disney World. And again, heavier traffic on this road at this point than normal. Busy day here down at the World. As you can see, people tend to get impatient around here, this stretch of road. People in Florida don't understand the left lane is for passing. They love to get in it and then just sit beside some other car in the next lane. On the right is the new Margaritaville Resort that opened just in the last year or so. Built on the ruins of splendid China, which was a very wonderful place, but it was run by the Chinese government and they had no idea how to run a theme park. There were no rides whatsoever. It was more like a big outdoor museum of Chinese architecture and environment. It was a pretty cool place. Now this is about the end of the new stuff along this section of 192, and what we'll be entering next is the old section of 192, which is known as Main Gate West because it went past the main gate of Walt Disney World and to the west. On the other side into more traditional Kissimmee is Main Gate East. I will be leaving you at Main Gate West because I'm picking up a friend here. So this is as far as I'm going to take you on this trip. Happy day to you.